Here's your best options for sanding when making wood signs. So when you're making wood signs, there's tons of options out there on what kind of sanding to use. We're going to break this down into two different categories. First, the rough sand, and then we're going to break it down into the finished sand. And we've used a lot of different sanders and tools over the years, so we're going to go over the ones we've used previously and the ones that we use now and what we really like. So let's start off with the rough sand. And first sander on the list is the Freestanding belt sander. Now this is a 6x48 sander. It was my dad's favorite. We used it for a long time. But let's go into the pros and cons. So the first pro is a belt on there lasts forever. Even when we were using it a lot, we probably only changed belts once every few months. Most of the time these big belt sanders, especially the 6x48, come with a 9-inch disc, which really comes in handy because we do a lot of our rounding and other operations with that disc, and it's just kind of part of the same tool. The other pro is it stays flat. When you put that board on there, it pretty much stays flat and you don't have to worry about a lot of dips and waves in the surface of your sign. So let's talk about the con. The first one is floor space. Since this is a stationary tool, it does take up room in your shop. If you have a smaller space, you might want to go a different way, or at least maybe put rollers on the bottom so that it's movable and portable. The second con is changing the belts. It does take a lot more time to change the belts on one of these big belt sanders, and you have to find the tracking mechanism and have it set just right. For that reason, it's not a good option to have a first and a second sand with this unless you have two of them. If you have a cupped board, that could really be a challenge with this type of sanding, being as it is stationary and it's 6 inches wide. If you have a cup to your board, it may get a little tricky when trying to sand that. The last con on the Freestanding belt sander is you can't really sand anything bigger than a 6x24 sign. It won't work well for you. You need to be sanding smaller signs.
Next is the handheld belt sander. Now there's some really good advantages if this is what you decide to use. Number one is it's portable and it's small, so it doesn't take up a lot of room in your shop. And that also lends itself to the fact that you can carve as big a sign as you want with these things. With the freestanding one, you're really limited. You can also get these things for pretty cheap. I think I spent 40 bucks on mine and it's a Ryobi. So they're really not that expensive if you go with the entry-level ones. Another nice thing about it is that the belts are super easy and fast to change. Take them on, take them off, get your tracking right, and you're good to go. Another aspect is that they allow you to have more control of the sander. So if your board is cupped, you can follow the cup of the board, or if you have different levels, you can follow the levels of the board. They also take off quite a bit more wood than the freestanding belt sander, so that makes it a little bit faster, which for me is a pretty big deal. However, there are some definite cons. The biggest one is that they're kind of tricky to learn how to use. There's a pretty big learning curve. It's kind of hard to learn how to keep these things flat and follow the shape of your board without creating divots and gouges. Another aspect is if you're finishing the front of your sign, you cannot sand cross grain because it chews that thing up bad. Also, if there's ink on your board, which there's gonna be because we're sanding it off, it grinds that ink across the grain and it's really hard to get out. Another con about these is that the belts load up pretty bad. Now, obviously, a big part of that is the quality of your sanding belts. If you're buying cheap ones, they're gonna load up worse, all that different stuff. But regardless, they don't last near as long as the freestanding belt sander. Now, even though these things are faster than the freestanding belt sander, they're still a lot slower than our favorite, which is the disc sander.
So now let's talk about the disc sander. That's my favorite. So the first pro is this thing is a beast. This thing removes so much material in such a fast period of time. So that can be a con, but for me it's definitely a pro. Especially if you're trying to take off a lot of material, you can do it twice as fast as the belt sander. Second pro, it's fairly easy to use. Even though it takes a little bit to learn, the learning curve is so much easier than the belt sander. The next pro is changing the disc is a piece of cake. It's hook and loop, Velcro, whatever you want to call it. Just rip it off, put another one on. Super easy to change the discs. And another pro is the fact that even though you've got a rough disc on there, it still leaves a lot smoother surface than if you were using that same grit on a belt sander. All right, let's talk about the cons. The disc sander that we use is something over $100. If you get them on sale, you might get them a little less than that, but so they're not quite as inexpensive as a cheap belt sander. The next con is you really have to have a light touch when you're using this thing. If you put any weight on this thing or really lean into it, man, you could mess up a sign in a hurry. So you really have to have a light touch with this thing. The last con, you aren't sanding on the whole surface of the disc. You're actually sanding just on the edge. Because you're only using a small portion of the outside edge of the disc, you could go through discs a lot faster, especially if you're using the wrong grit. You definitely want to use a 60 or an 80 when you're taking that black off. Now let's move to the second category, which is the finish sand. And first up is the belt sander. So even though we use the belt sander for the rough sand, you can absolutely use it for the finish sand as well. All of the same pros still apply in the finish sand as they did in the rough sand. Along with that is it actually works pretty fast. You really won't have to take hardly any time to use the belt sander to get a decent finish sand. So the cons is it won't give you as good a finish as the random orbital or the sheet sander. Also, you need to keep that belt parallel with the grain of the board. If you turn it cross grain at all, it'll chew it up pretty bad.
Alright, another option for the finish sand is a sheet sander. Now, we don't actually have one of the old school sheet sanders, we have what they call the Octa sander. It's basically the same thing, you just change the sandpaper a little bit differently. The pros with the sheet sander are, number one, it really does give a nice finish. It basically just vibrates, so it gives a really good finish and you don't get much gouging. They're also pretty cheap. I think you can get them for like 30 bucks at Home Depot or Lowe's or even Amazon. So you can get these things pretty cheap, and honestly, if you're woodworking, you probably have one laying around somewhere. Another pro about this is that you use the full surface of the pad. So whatever sandpaper is showing, that's what you're going to be using. So it's not like you're only using a little bit and then you have to replace it. You're using the entire pad of the sander. Now the cons. The biggest con for me is that this thing takes forever to give you your finished sand. Yes, it looks really nice, but man, it takes a long time to get your full sign finished, especially if you're doing something big. One more con about this is because it vibrates so bad, it can be kind of rough on your hands, especially if you're a little bit older, if you have arthritis. It can really kind of take its toll, and it starts to hurt after a while of using it. So the best option we found for our final sand to give it a super smooth finish is the random orbital sander. This gives probably the best finish out of any of these sanders, and it takes out all scratches and grooves, and it really looks nice once it's complete. It goes fairly fast, probably not quite as fast as the belt sander, but it gives a much better finish than the belt sanders. So you kind of have to figure out what you're looking for. You want to get it better or you want to get it faster. Another pro is that the fact that it uses the full surface of the disc. So you're going to have this thing completely flat on the board, and you'll be able to use up everything on that disc and not have just a tiny little bit of surface to sand with. Now the cons about the random orbital sander. One of the biggest ones is the fact that depending on which direction you're going, at certain points it can get a little bit squirrely on you and get a little bit harder to control. Not all the time, and it honestly does depend on which sander you're using. Obviously the higher end sanders, say like the Festool, not as bad, but we just use the DeWalt, and there are points where it gets a little bit harder to control. Now, a little caveat is that you can use the disc sander with say 120 or 180 grit disc to do your final sand, but it doesn't give quite as nice a finish. You can definitely tell the difference between a random orbital finish and a disc sander finish. So that's kind of up to you, whatever you want to do. So Dad's been doing this for what, like 50 years?
Plus.
Yeah, plus. Me, not quite as long, but Dad's gone through a ton of different sanders, a ton of different tools, and so far we found that our absolute favorite is the disc sander for the rough sand, and then the random orbital for the final sand, right?
Yeah. So yeah, both DeWalt's, the disc sander and the random orbital, that's definitely our favorite combination.
So as always, if you have any questions, feel free to shoot us an email, ryan@makeawoodsign.com.
Eric@makeawoodsign.com.
And be sure to leave a comment. If we left something out, let us know about it.
All right, thanks guys, we appreciate it.
Bye.
Bye.